First of all, thank you very much for tuning into this video. If you came through the Facebook page, once again, special thanks to you guys. And if you just came through YouTube, I'll leave a link in the description down below for you. Click on the link, like us, we're a good little page. The first thing I'd like to say is there's not really that much to talk about and that I really want to talk about because last game really hurt. Yeah, it's the kind of thing that you have to take on the chin as a Rangers fan. There's nothing else you can really do about it to cope with it, because if all we do all the time is slag off the players and slag off the manager, which is so easy to do and what I do all the time myself, they're not going to get anything from it. It doesn't really achieve anything at all. All it's going to do is lower morale. But that being said, if there was a game that deserved the players and manager being slagged off, it was definitely today. It was the worst football I've ever seen Rangers play. Starting off with a positive, let's just say, is Kenny Miller's first goal, Kenny Miller's only goal, in fact, to make it 1-0 Rangers. And this was a glimmer of hope. It came in the second half, I believe. Quote me if I'm wrong. And yeah, it was basically just, he was just to the left of the penalty slot and managed to just slot the ball past the keeper with a tiny bit of finesse and past the defender as well. And while it was a good finish that not every single player would have really taken, it was just the kind of thing you'd expect from Kenny Miller anyway, and there's no real football that played up to that point. But moving on really quickly, there was a second goal which came from Dean Shields, and this made it 2-0 to Rangers. Dean Shields basically, it started off with Kenny Miller, he passed the ball in, the ball then found its way to another player who passed it to Dean Shields. Dean Shields then nicely slotted it around the keeper, and that was the only bit of team football that I saw Rangers play today, and the only thing that made me think, right, okay, that's a glimmer of hope, maybe we can actually win this. And anyway, 2-0 up, you're thinking, right, okay, maybe we've got this in the bag now, maybe it's a given. Oh, but no, because it comes back to 2-1. And it was a stupid defending goal, and I even put on Facebook, I'm not even going to comment or post a video of this goal because it's absolutely ridiculous, shouldn't have given it away. Second goal goes in, okay, maybe it was a little bit more of good play, but still, I don't think that should have gone in. Like, if the defenders were in the right position, oh, don't even get me started on Mosny this game. I just don't understand him anymore. Like, against Kilmarnock, he had a good game, maybe one slip-up. But this game, against Alloa, he just didn't know what he was doing again. But bear in mind, I think it's either 3 or 5 years ago he started his professional career, and he's only 25 at the moment. Rangers were definitely outplayed by Alloa, and that breaks my heart to say it, because Rangers seem to never be like outplayed by a team of brickies and postmen. They're part-timers, for crying out loud. Simonson had a good game though. He had a good game for the first 3 quarters, and then in the last quarter he just lost it. But if it weren't for him, it could have been a 5-2 thrashing from Alloa. Now, the result. Of course, the result and the performance gained a lot of abuse off of all the Rangers fans, including myself, towards Ali and the Rangers players. Personally, I think Ali should go and that he's thinking about his wallet. But if he left, it would go against what he said, wouldn't it? He said we don't do walking away. And that's him shot himself in the foot, because if he's not careful, he could become an absolute hate figure at Rangers. And that is not what we want from someone who's an absolute legend. But yeah, if all we do is abuse the players and managers, which is so easy to do, and which I have to admit I do myself, all that's going to happen is their morale's going to go down even more. But if there was a game where they deserved abuse, that was definitely this game. They weren't a team, they weren't Rangers, they weren't Super Rangers. They, for crying out loud, what is it? Is it St Johnstone they're playing the full blue kit like we were playing in? I just don't understand. Why were we wearing blue shorts and blue socks as well? Might as well have had blue hats and blue boots on as well. Like, paint them like... Do you know what? We weren't Rangers, we were Smurfs. That's all we were. We were Smurfs on the pitch. Now, another thing is that this game really worried me. Because if we don't get promotion this year, and I know that it wasn't a league game, but if we don't get promotion this year, and if we put in performances like this one in the league, I fear for Rangers' future, because I think if big investors want to come in and pump money into the club, which, you know, they'll then try and screw out even more out of it, but if big investors want to come, they want to come to a successful club. And if we can't even get promoted this year, I seriously fear that we may go bust again, and I feel sick. I feel sick to the stomach about that. This is a kind of insecurity that Rangers fans are feeling at the moment. So, if you hadn't seen or guessed already, the match actually finished 3-2, the last goal coming in the 88th minute, and what my brother said, which, to be honest, shouldn't have been said, was, at 2-1 up for Rangers, he said, we're going to lose this game. And that's the point when... it's just the point when he said that, the whole game turned around. So, Ross, this is your fault. Oh, of course, it's not his fault. I'm only joking about that. But for all that, I just don't understand how we could go 2-0 up and 3-2 down. It's like Hull versus Arsenal in the FA Cup final. 2-0 up, 3-2 down, except two, at the moment, much better teams. But I don't even know what to say anymore. I've lost all my words. Thank you very much for watching this video. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Comment below whatever I've said wrong, rant over.